everyone! I just reorganized my makeup collection. It's so exciting. I did film that, so if you haven't seen that, you will soon. But reorganizing my stuff always reminds me of how much stuff I have that I don't use, which is actually why I reorganized, because I wanted to be able to see a larger percentage of my makeup collection at any given time. So I'm going to do my makeup today, and I'm just going to use some products I haven't used in a while. I don't really know what my plan is, but I'm going to pull out some stuff that hasn't seen the light of day in a little bit. So, if you're interested in what I'm about to do, well, I guess let's hang out. I'm going to start my face today with some Dior Glow Maximizer, which I had completely forgotten that I owned this primer, actually. I do have one other illuminating primer, which I paid for myself. This one I got from work. The other one I have is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. And it is much more silver, whereas this is much more golden. So I think I prefer the other, but the texture of this one's nicer. Next, I'm going to use the Sephora 10-Hour Lasting Perfection, 10-Hour Wear Perfection Foundation, which I got just this summer, but I never really reached for because I've been too obsessed with other foundations this summer. So this is quite thick. You can see it doesn't really... I'm applying this with my Real Techniques Complexion Perfection sponge, whatever their sponge is, which this summer I've been super into using brushes, and then I picked this up recently, and why did I ever stop using it? I don't understand. So, for concealer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me, which is actually halfway empty. I wonder if that's why I stopped using it, because when things get close to empty, I pretend like they're entirely empty and I don't use them anymore, but then I don't really want to. It's really stupid. Anyway, this is in the shade 15. Is there a shade 10? Is this actually the second lightest shade? Because this is not light enough for me, y'all. Actually, I think that's why I stopped wearing it. And using my same sponge to work that in, since it's not the right shade. It's actually not too bad when it's blended in, shade-wise. I feel like my nose is really red today, though. I haven't used a brow pencil in a while, actually. This is the Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil. I don't ever use this one because it's a little too dark. This is in the shade Dark Brown. But I actually really like it. I feel like it fills things in really easily. Like, there's no tugging or anything. I just wish I had it in a lighter shade. But I also don't really want to go back and buy it again. But it's super fast. So now I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper, which I said correctly on the first try. That never happens. Because this is a shade lighter, so it will help kind of counterbalance that quite dark brow pencil. Now to do some eyes, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Tough as Taupe, which is a matte, cool brown shade. I'm just going to pat that all over my lid. Oh, this one's getting kind of dry. So first I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand so it's not quite so horrible. Put it on my eye. Now I'm going to take the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette, which is totally gorgeous, and it was my second ever makeup palette from Sephora. My first was Naked 2, of course, because I didn't know anything about makeup. This is the first one that I bought after researching makeup, and it's gorgeous. I just don't know why I don't reach for it. So I'm going to take a large fluffy brush. I'm going to take Fuzzy Handcuffs, this lighter nudie shade, and I'm going to take that through the crease. I will say I wish the Too Faced palette had a mirror, because that would make this a lot easier, huh? Then I'm going to take Garter Belt, which is a kind of matte slate shade. On a fluffy brush, I'm just going to run that all over the lid. Now I'm going to take Lap Dance, which is this kind of purpley, taupey, shimmery shade. I'm going to run that sort of through the center of the lid, just to bring a little lightness into there. I'm going to go in with Garter Belt and French Tickler both, and French Tickler is very dark, so I'm going to really make sure that I pat that off. And then just stamping that sort of in this outer section of the eye at an angle. Barely touching my lid because I'm not super wanting to look like I got punched in the face. Then I'm going to take a little angled liner brush and I'm going to tap that into French Tickler again and patting off all the excess. I'm just going to use that as a really soft, smudgy liner. I pulled out a couple liners that I hadn't used in a while to kind of, since that's the whole point of what I'm doing. But this eyeshadow look really calls for something very soft, I think, so. To define the lower lash line, I'm going back in with garter belt and just smudging that along my lashes. I know that some people, when they do a smoky eye, really play it up on the lower lash line, but I am not a big lower lash line kind of person, so I don't know, I always feel like I've gotten hit in the face. Let's go ahead and finish the skin. First, I'm just going to take my brush underneath my eyes to kind of get rid of any fallout that I might have under there, which there was a little, but it actually wasn't too bad considering the shades of colors that I was using. And then I'm going to use Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana, which I used to use all the freaking time as my all over face powder, and I haven't used it in a while. I think because I got the Cover FX illuminating powder, and it does a very similar thing. They're both illuminating powders, and that's really too bad because this one costs like $4, and the Cover FX one is like what, $32 or something. Ugh, I had forgotten how pretty that is. Why did I ever stop using it? Oh my god. Now I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D blush in Bellissima, which I think is harder to find now. She used to have it in all of the Sephoras, and now it's only in like ones that have giant Kat Von D displays, I think. But it is really pretty. It's like the perfect pinky peach shade. I know everyone on YouTube always talks about the pinky peach blush, but it's not really a peach. I don't know, maybe kind of a warm pink. Is that a more accurate description? I don't know. And now for highlight, I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever eyeshadow in, oh my god, this stupid eyeshadow, in the shade 524, I-524, but seriously, you can't probably see this. The whole thing is just coming out. So angry. This one was, I think, the highlighter in the 50 Shades of Grey collection last year, and it's beautiful, but it's so crumbly, and it has been since day one. It's infuriating, so I have to be really careful with it. So I'm going to take that on this Sephora Contour Highlight Brush number 80. I'm just going to run that where we all put our stupid, stinking highlighters. Why do I even try to tell you guys anymore? Surely you know by now, right? I'll take just a little bit on my forehead. A little bit under my eyes. I like this brush because it's small enough to get in there. Ugh, so angry about you. It is time to do my lashes, so let's start with curling them. I don't have an old mascara to show you because that would be gross. So this is my current mascara, one of my current mascaras in, this is Marc Jacobs Omega Lash. Last but not least, I'm using this lipstick from Maybelline in Touch of Spice, which was all the freaking rage last spring, late winter, early spring. I think I wore it in one tutorial maybe, and I did actually wear it a fair amount, but I haven't worn it in months, so it's time. That's a really pretty color. Why did I stop wearing that? It's not a very summery color, so I'm sure that's why I stopped wearing it, but it's really pretty. I might have to keep wearing it for the fall. Actually, I think I'm going to keep wearing it for the fall. It's nice because it's dark, so it's darker for me, especially as a teacher. So it's a great kind of transition into winter shade, but it's still a pinky nude kind of color, especially on me. I like my nudes to be a little more pink anyway, so it's very wearable, like super wearable. Thanks for watching, guys. That is my shopping my stash tutorial of making stuff up on the fly, but using mostly things that you probably haven't seen from me either recently or maybe ever. I think there are a few things in there that I have never used on my channel before, so like I said, I did reorganize all of this. You should check that video out if it isn't up yet. It will be very soon, and I will see you again very soon. Both of those things are very soon. Oh well, whatever. Too lazy to re-record it. Bye, guys.